Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me. My name is Warisha from Thailand. I am Associate Professor at Department of Architecture, Chulalongkorn University, and I first met your Professor Ewa when we had a workshop in Bangkok in 2013. My research interest has been revolving around the cultural dimension of Asian architecture and the proximate study of everyday life dwelling. So the topic I would like to share with you today is the socio-spatial adaptations in everyday life Thai dwelling. Speaking of everyday life Thai dwelling, this talk will focus on a 100-year-old waterfront community called Huat Ta Khe. For your information, in Thai language, a person name and a place name has certain meaning. As for Huat Ta Khe, Hua mean head or skull, Ta Khe mean crocodile. Together become crocodile skulls. One plausible assumption is that there were many crocodile skulls found at the site. This connotes the fact that in the past, this site were quite plentiful with not only waterway but also aquatic animals. To give you more details about our area of study, this map shows the location of the old market along a canal in eastern Bangkok called the Prawet Buri Lom Canal, construct about 150 years ago. Here is Suvarnabhumi Airport. Along this canal, you see 3 waterfront markets. Each market is located approximately 10 kilometers away from one another. These 100 years of waterfront markets, namely Huat Ta Khe Market, Long Pang Market, and Klong Suan Market, are situated at the intersection between waterways, with which in the past served as the important node of transportation, communication, and trade. Regardless of their similarity in terms of period of settlement and geographic setting, these waterfront markets evolved distinctly due to different socio-economic factors and type of ownership. Huat Ta Khe Market on your left has evolved into an art and creative place. Klong Suan Market on your right has been a touristic spot, especially before the pandemic. However, the physical condition of Long Pang Market is quite deteriorating, which due partly to lacking cohesion among the residents. Given that socio-cultural contexts account for different proxemic patterns, this study has 2 main goals. First, to look at the interrelationship between types of ownership and physical spatial transformation of the waterfront dwellings. And second, to clarify the spatial essences of Huat Ta Khe Market and shophouse dwelling. Let's get started with an overview of its geographic setting, cultural activity, and some phases of its residents. This image shows the intimate relationship between houses, waterway, and Thai way of life. Owing to its close proximity to the waterways, there are quite a few water-based activities of the multicultural residents here. For example, the Mon Merik Making Festival, usually held in October, the Thai wedding procession along the canal, and the Chinese Loi Krathong Jie Festival. Because this area is situated very close to an art college and is surrounded by many schools, 4 schools to be specific. There are quite a few art events all year round. For example, photo exhibitions, graffiti art, and artwork made by recycled products. And these are some faces of the old, the new, and the young residents. Despite the nostalgic romantic atmosphere that you might imagine, Huatake experienced huge challenges quite a few times. Starting as an important commercial center and hub of skilled craftsmen, the major part of this market was converted into cheap accommodation for art college students and alien laborers since the arrival of street and land settlement. The violent incident that occurred from time to time further caused the decline of traditional environment and the damage to the waterfront shop houses. This crisis somehow provoked a sense of belonging and thus an attempt to revitalize the market among the residents. At present, Huatake is a renowned art market with an increasing number of adaptive shop houses. The remaining part of the market that is still active today is surrounded by 2 canals in the south and in the east, and it's very, very small node in the north. Apart from the waterways, Huatake community can also be accessed by streets and railway. In addition to several academic institutions, there are quite a few religious facilities such as Chinese shrines and vegetarian halls, where traditional festivals still take place. There are also various common spaces which function as nodes of interaction and thus helps cohesion among the residents. From the whole picture of the community, now let's move on to the feature and component of the shop houses. Like other shop houses in all neighborhoods, the shop houses here are 2-story wooden building with narrow frontage but great depth. Each shop house is 3 meters wide and approximately 25 meters long. In front of the shop house, there is a small passageway connecting directly to waterfront space, which is usually used by both the residents and the visitors. However, the passage at the back is mostly used by the residents. The interior of each unit basically composed of 3 parts: the shop space at the front, the service space at the back, and the living space in the middle and on the upper floor. From the physical components, now let's move on to types of product and service these shop houses provide, and accordingly to types of ownership. These colorful bars represent types of products and service of the entire shop houses. 58 units in total in the past and at present. In the past, you see on the upper part of your screen, the shop specialized in craftsmen, and the shop selling farm and household utensils in total were the majority of the shop houses here. While at present, the shop selling food and drinks, as appear in yellow, are the mainstream of the market. And here, the upper rows, you see types of ownership. The vivid blue represents the inherited shophouses, and the light blue represent the long-term rental shophouses. Considering that different types of ownership affect the physical and spatial modification of the shophouses differently, the study select 9 shophouses with different types of ownership and type of product and service as the case studies. And here are images of the case studies. HTK 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are the inherited shophouses. And the HTK 6, 7, 8, 9 are the long-term rental shophouses. Here, the table on your left shows the relationship between type of ownership and degree of physical and spatial modification of the shophouses. Plan and sectional drawing on the right show the location of the area used for shop space. That is to say, the dark blue represent the area regularly used as shop space. The light blue represent the area occasionally used as a shop space. In brief, the long-term rental shophouses have been much more modified than the inherited shophouses, especially when it's come to the waterfront space. Okay, from the different aspects of building modification and spatial usage, let's move on to spatial characteristics of Huatake shophouses that are shared among other shophouses in other parts of Thailand. To begin with, intimate space is the optimization of small space through the adaptive use of unfinished nature of structural and architectural wooden components. Here, various means of stacking, hanging, and hoisting are implemented to multiply usable space. On the other hand, the term intimate space also refers to a sense of home-like atmosphere created by the show-off lifestyle and by the intimate relationship between work and living space and by the close rapport among the residents. Here you see this one is sewing shop at Huatake Market. And on your right is the Chinese medicine shop at Luang Prang Market. On your right here, on this screen is very interesting. You see a bucket with hosting system, right? This one serves as a safe place for the shop owner to keep their money. Second, intermediary space is the strategic use of open space, such as small backyard. Openness, such as double volume space, along with opening, such as breathable wall, to serve as a mediator between the outside and inside spaces. In other words, it helps enhance light, ventilation, and greenery to these small dwellings and improve the residents' quality of living. Airy and violet shop space and service space created by double volume area. Small hanging plant and potted plants help bringing the outside in. The use of the intermediary space can be also found at other shop house, such as those in Klong Son Market. Third, spaces in a space is another crucial attribute of these chop house dwellings. In essence, it provides individuals to the private spaces that concurrently afford a sense of relatedness to other household members. For example, additional space construct in form of mezzanines overlooking the ground space as shown on your left and right. A living space that turns into a sleeping space at night. This flexible sleeping unit is created by movable equipment such as mats and mosquito nets. Next, it is important to note that Huatake shop houses serve not only for habitation, but also for social interaction. The location and dimension of dialogical space varies according to the types of ownership, which closely related to types of product and service. For example, the small commercial space at the front of the inherited shop houses illustrate this social space. The dialogical space of the long-term rental shop house is evident in the waterfront space. On a broader scale, the waterfront space of Huatake Market offers communal spaces for collective dwelling. That is to say, the shared space that offers rich possibility for human connection and thus social cohesion. Various kinds of art-related and community activities are made possible due to these communal spaces. Depending on its scale and location, the waterfront space can accommodate various activities, ranging from a small classroom to community events such as merit-making ceremony, workshops and meeting, or even a monthly free haircut service. The waterfront space can be a place where festivals take place, such as this one in Klong Suan Market. On your left was the New Year party, and on your right was the 111 years anniversary of the market. From this spatial characteristic of everyday life dwelling and through the workshop activities, I hope you realize that standard of living doesn't always equate to quality of life, and that different culture results in different proxemic patterns. And this wraps up for my session. Thank you for your attention.